What's up guys, Tychonders here doing another toy review, and this time it's for a Star Wars figure review. Now this is for two Star Wars figures, and I decided to do both of them together just to save time. So the figures that I have to review are the Star Wars 3 3/4 inch Black Series, Walmart exclusive Black Series Jyn Erso, or Sergeant Jyn Erso, and the old Han Solo figure. Now, I don't have any of the other versions of the Han Solo figure, which are the basic 5 points of articulation figures. So this is the first one I have from The Force Awakens. The other figure is from the new movie, which is Rogue One. And I'll just do a quick review of her first. So this is the Sergeant Jyn Erso figure. It's a really good figure. It's very similar to the second wave basic figure that came out, which is this one, but it actually has some slight differences. She does come with a normal pistol. In fact, I have her actual pistol here. Unfortunately, I don't have Han's pistol. I've mislaid it, but it's a standard pistol that Han normally has, just all black, no detail. So I'll go with the weapons first. So the standard the standard basic 5 points figure comes with this blaster pistol, whereas the Black Series one comes with this, and it comes with two additional parts. If I just bring them in there, which are these, which is a stock and a scope, well, a scope for the barrel. And what you do is, just leave that up there, you just connect the stock onto the rifle, and you connect the sniper kind of scope onto the front of the pistol. So basically it becomes like a sniper rifle. Now, I've seen the film twice, and she does not use this weapon at all in the movie. The only person that does use this weapon is Captain Cassian Andor, and uses it for one scene. And as far as I know, that's the only time you get to see the rifle in that configuration. The rest of the time, it's just a normal pistol he uses. And it doesn't even show him connecting it. It looks like it's a completely different rifle. What is interesting is that the 3 3/4 inch Black Series Cassian Andor figure does come with the exact same rifle that Jyn does. So here are two of the figures. Here's the three figures of Jyn that have been released so far. So putting them in order, you have this one, which was the first wave, wave 1 figure. This is wave 2's figure, and then this is the 3 3/4 inch Black Series figure. The closest one to the 3 3/4 inch Black Series is the second wave. There is one major difference in the fact that she has a resistance jacket on over or under her under the undershirt, or the kind of waistcoat, whereas in this one she just has a waistcoat and her normal top on, which you can see kind of through the top, through the kind of coat. Everything else is pretty much the same. She has the same kind of boots, same holster on her right side. And this one has the over jacket that she wears when they go to Edu. Now, I did try checking to see if you could head swap, and unfortunately you can't do any head swaps with this figure. The ball joint on this one is too big, so these ones look too small on it, or the head doesn't fit right. It is a shame, because it would be cool to get her Edu head onto the 3 3/4 inch Black Series figure. It's not too much of a big difference from the other one, because if I pull off this head cloak, you can see the head sculpts are pretty much identical. There's not much in the difference. Both figures have ball jointed head. Well, all three figures have the ball socket head joints. Now, for articulation, for the 3 3/4 inch Black Series one, it's really good. She has upper waist crunch. She has ball jointed head, as I mentioned. She has the standard kind of outside and rotating shoulders, and she has single hinged elbows. and then she has a swivel at the wrists. Now she also has additional articulation just on the mid thigh, where she can actually swivel her thigh sideways, and this is actually quite a welcome addition. It's pretty much similar to what she gets as the 6-inch figure, as far as I know. It's basically a scaled down version of it, and I'll get into that in a second. She has a kind of she does have hip rotation. It's on a sort of ball joint, so you can move forward and backwards as long as you turn the hip. But this is where the additional joint comes in handy. So the leg isn't looking off to the side, which is quite handy. Then she has single hinge knees, and you can bend her knee that much. It's just a 90-degree bend, and then she has kind of boot ankle articulation as well. She doesn't have rocker joints on the ankles, but as far as I know, none of the Jyn 1/4-inch Star Wars figures do have that. So just setting her off to the side, what I'll do is I'll bring in the star of last year's film, which is Rey, and I'll show you what I mean by the hip articulation. If you look at the hip articulation on the Rey 3 1/4-inch figure, this is the Walmart Black Series one as well. She doesn't have that additional hip on her, so that when you're putting the leg out like this, the front of her thigh is actually off to the side, which isn't too bad on her, but on some of the other figures, like I think it was the Finn figure, it looks really awkward. And you'll see as well on the Han Solo figure, has the same articulation, so you have to put his leg out to the side if you want his leg to move forward, and then that. So if you look at the connection, his knee is actually off to the side, which is completely dislocated. But moving quickly onto the Han Solo figure, it's an interesting figure that they chose to make. I would have preferred the kind of first act version of Han Solo from the film, where he has his kind of signature he has a signature kind of brown leather jacket, as opposed to the Parker coat that he wears when they go to Starkiller Base, which is what this figure is based on. Now it is a separate piece to the figure, but it's non-removable. You could probably pry it off, but I'm not sure what the figure looks like underneath, and then you'd be left with the arms on the figure being the coat sleeves, so it'd look pretty awkward. His head sculpt is quite good. It does look like Harrison Ford. I think they went a little too light on the grey hair. He looks a bit too... He doesn't look as old as Han looked in the movie. I know it's kind of harsh to say that he looked pretty old, but the hair was a lot greyer in the movie compared to the figure, which still looks really good. He does have a working holster for his pistol, which at the moment is not here. Unfortunately, I've mislaid it at the moment, but it's a standard kind of Han Solo pistol, but just done in all black. It doesn't even have the silver tip that it normally has on the barrel. You can see it plugs into the leg here. Now they did make it in such a way that the leg is able to move, and you're able to unplug the pistol holster, so it doesn't kind of hinder the movement, which isn't too bad. He still has the same kind of single hinge knee joint. It doesn't get the full 90 degree that the Jyn figure gets, but it is quite good articulation. And then you have single jointed elbows, and you have wrist swivels. Now here is another point where the newer 3 1/4-inch figures differ from the older ones, is that on the older ones they actually have a hinge on the wrist, so they can move forward and backwards on the hinge, so you can get some kind of really good posing out of the figures. But unfortunately, if I just bring Jyn back in again, she doesn't have that. She just has the basic swivels, which is still more than the 3 1/4-inch basic series, but it's quite good. It's a bit sad that they didn't still include that, but I guess the trade-off is we got that extra joint on the hip to give a better kind of movement for the legs. Her pistol holster on her right thigh is also attached to her leg. Now hers isn't like Han's where it can move, but her belt isn't glued in place, whereas Han's belt is sort of kind of glued onto the figure. So if we just bring it in focus, you can actually move her waist or move her leg to not worry too much about the the material tearing for the holster, because the holster will move with the leg. So that's not too bad. At least they thought, they kind of did some forward planning on that. So all in all, the 3 3/4 inch Black Series figures are pretty much the ones to get if you want better articulated figures. The basic series figures aren't too bad. Oh, one other thing. The only kind of crossover thing that you can do with Jyn is you can cross over the Wave 2 figure's head cowl. She doesn't actually come with one, but you can cross it, or you can put it onto the basic from the basic 3 3/4 inch figure. You can take it from that and put it onto the Black Series figure, so you can get her looking a bit more like she did when she was on Jeddah, when she had the kind of cowl and gear on. Her holster does hold her pistol, but I won't take it apart. Won't take the rifle apart and put it into her. She does hold the rifle. Actually, when the rifle is actually set up in the sniper configuration, she does have a little trouble holding it. She can do it pretty good, kind of in a kind of relaxation or rest position. She can't really look down the barrel too great on it. You can try and get her to do it, but it just looks a little awkward. I'm assuming because the rifle is probably more designed to work with the casting figure than her. But when the pistol's in the pistol configuration, she does hold it quite well in both hands. Even though the the right hand is designed more to hold a pistol, whereas the right doesn't have the trigger finger, but you can hold it in both hands. And as I have this assembled now, I might as well put it into her holster, so she can put the pistol in her holster quite well. Even if you have the basic 3 3/4 inch figure ones, you can actually put their pistols in, and it doesn't look too bad. So she can have the sniper, if you want, the sniper rifle in the sniper rifle configuration, and you can have her. If you have one of the basic 3 3/4 inch figures pistols, you can just give her that instead. So there you go, guys. There's just a quick video review of both the Jyn Erso figure and the old Han Solo from Force Awakens. Now, I have seen the film. I have seen Rogue One a couple of times, and I will say that even though all the packaging for all the figures call her Sergeant Jyn Erso, she actually doesn't hold that title in the film, which is because I think they did the rewriting for the film. They did reshoots and stuff, so her backstory changed slightly. So she technically wasn't a rebellion sergeant in the Rebel Alliance, and she wasn't a sergeant in the Empire either. So it seemed to be a little bit different between the two. So there you go, guys. There's just a quick video review for Jyn and Han Solo. As I always say in the videos, if you like the video, click like. If you want to subscribe, feel free to subscribe, and feel free to leave a comment in the comment section below. There you go, guys. Hope you enjoyed the review.